In the amazing golf community of La Quinta, California, a retired executive lives life at a pace similar to his working days. While other men his age are experiencing a decline in energy and vitality, Mr. Kuhne lives every day to the fullest.
My name is Jay Kuhne. I'm 78 years old, and I've been with the Leonardi Health Institute for 7 years.
Mr. Kuhne describes the results he's realized from the Leonardi Institute Optimal Executive Program.
I guess what I'd say is that there is a higher energy level than I've had as a younger man, a more dedicated to the things I like to do, and a much better ability to do them without being hurt. I can sustain my energy levels for much longer periods of time, and my interest in doing it is much more. I know how I feel. I know how, in this community, how other 78-year-olds feel. I think I'm in the higher percentile of those that are feeling alive and can function.
Mr. Kuhne reports the top 4 benefits he's realized from this powerful program.
Well, number one, there hasn't been a recurrence of the cancer. That'd be number one. Number 2, my blood pressure is normal. Number 3, my cholesterol is better than normal. It's on the highest percentile that you could want to be. My joints are pain-free, and I have an incredible zest for life, and I think a lot of it has to do with how I feel. I have a penchant for appreciating things today that I took for granted before, and that I'm living more in the moment now with less anxiety.
Mr. Kuhne relates why he chose this program.
Well, we have a pretty active life. We love to travel, and we're doing some traveling. As a matter of fact, we're just planning a trip to Africa on a safari for 3 weeks in September. We have a very active social life. I play golf 4 days a week, and I usually work out 3 days a week. We do lots of walking, and there's a lot of intercommunication with my wife, Pam, and our life.
However, it wasn't simply lifestyle factors that prompted him to choose this program.
My issues were that I had high blood pressure. My dad had high blood pressure and actually died of hypertension. I had an elevated cholesterol, and I had cancer, prostate cancer 15 years ago, and I was concerned about the recurrence of it. So the program that David set up for me took care of the issue of my high blood pressure, put me into a much better position. My cholesterol, over the last 15 years, there's been no recurrence of the cancer. Very pleased with where I'm at.
The Leonardi Institute Optimal Executive Program is a comprehensive medical approach to achieving vitality, longevity, and disease prevention. Each executive undergoes a thorough medical examination called a Med Start. The medical staff then customize a program for each executive based on 5 key components: optimal nutrition, nutritional supplements, exercise, hormones when needed to achieve optimal results, and ongoing monitoring and coaching from medical staff to ensure success. Mr. Kuhne discusses some of these components.
Well, the supplements I take, about 28, which seems to work great. I take 14 in the morning and 14 in the afternoon. So I take a little bit of the testosterone. My testosterone levels were down around 250 milligrams, and he'd like them up at 750. This brought it up to 750. As far as the exercise program, I've always had an exercise program. I've tailored it a little bit more as I've increased in age, where I don't do weightlifting that hurts me. So it's all light weights. Do more reps, which David had suggested. I also had the penchant for having tennis elbow or golf elbow, and the supplements that Dave recommended took about 4 to 6 months for it to kick in. I've not had, in the last 5 years at least, or almost 6 years now, no incidents, pain in the joints or tennis elbow or golf elbow, which would prohibit me from playing all the golf and tennis that I was doing. So I think some of the things that David Leonardi has done for me is he's told me how to modify my daily actions so that I can prolong the things I like to do. I think all of us have a certain macho thing that if we lifted 20 pounds today, we want to lift 30 pounds tomorrow and 40. And that works against me. It has. It took me several years to agree with what David had said is don't do it, and I seem to function better.
The ongoing relationship with each patient is a critical part of this medical program. Mr. Kuhne describes his relationship with Dr. David Leonardi.
I consider him more a friend and a confidant than I do a doctor. He is, I think, probably one of the brightest, smartest men I've ever known, certainly one of the most dedicated men I've known, and I think he has a real humility, passion for what he does, and most of all, he is there and available. Getting to talk to the doctor when you need to, when you're in pain or you're in concern or you're in desperate need. Sometimes the answers are not prompt. His is.
When asked why other people should consider this program, Mr. Kuhne responded this way.
I'd say if you wanted to extend your quality of life, there isn't a better source than to the Leonardi Health Institute. For someone going into a program like this, I can honestly say it has made a difference for me. I think it can make a difference for many people.